Hey, what's up, everybody? Today we're going to be talking about the Prot Warrior in 7.1.5, the what seems to be controversy between Devastator and Indomitable. Now, obviously, the huge thing about these two talents right off the bat is Indomitable gives you 25% max health and 25% maximum effective ignore pain, which is just absolutely massive. And the thing is when I take this talent, I have unbuffed 4.8 million health, and when I take Devastator, I jump down to 3.8. So we're talking a full million health that you're losing by taking Devastator. However, um, with the way the talents are set up now, because as we all know, you used to have your rotation was basically, let's say in a single target situation, Shield Slam, Focused Rage, and Devastate, right? Focused Rage buffed your Shield Slam and reduced the rage cost of your Ignore Pain, and then Devastate you would spam to reset Shield Slam. Okay, but now Revenge is your Focused Rage. So, uh, but here's the thing: they greatly buffed Revenge, and they greatly buffed Thunderclap. So the one thing that I've been having trouble with is you're trying to spam Devastate, but really what you need to be doing is hitting Thunderclap because it does generate Rage now, but it also does more damage than Devastate, while at the same time, if you look at your Shield Slam ability, Devastate, Thunderclap, and Revenge have a 30% chance of resetting the cooldown on Shield Slam. So if you're going to use Indomitable, what you want to do is you're going to want to spam that Devastate, but you're also going to want to be using Thunderclap if Shield Slam hasn't reset yet. So go ahead and just basically make that part of your rotation. And it's not really, you're not hitting it for that, generates 5 rage, but it does essentially the same thing as Devastate now, with the chance of resetting Shield Slam. It just does about double the damage. So that's definitely something you're going to want to be, using here. So we're going to put Devastate on the bar. So I was using Devastator this week, testing it out on live because I played with it a lot on the PTR and I really liked it, but I wanted to see how it played out in live, if anything changed or it felt different. I cleared Heroic Emerald Nightmare, and I also did, I think, two plus 10 keystones and two 11s and one 12. We got the timers. Everything went really well. But here's the crazy thing, and I'm not really sure why this is the way it is, because if you're spamming Devastate, if you're spamming Devastate and you're having auto attacks, you'd think that you'd get slightly more, but I think what it ends up being is slightly equal. If you have Devastator and you're not using Devastate anymore. But when I was using Devastator, I was doing insane damage in the keystones. I mean, we're talking on big AoE pulls, I would finish the pull and my DPS was like 800k. I'm also item level 881, but when we do a big trash pull, I'd be on Devastator, so take away this ability, I'd be shield slamming and then focusing Revenge and Thunderclap, and I had tons of rage coming in from the damage I took from using Shield Slam and Thunderclap regularly, and then alternating that with Ignore Pain. So my Ignore Pain only costs 13 to 39 rage, and my Revenge only costs 19 rage, just like the way Focus Rage worked before. But the fact that Revenge now, you'll see here, it's a 3-second cooldown, but with my haste it's 2.55, which is actually really bad. I should get my haste up. And then Thunderclap is up every 5.1 seconds. Your AoE damage is absolutely unreal. It's so much fun. Like, let's take the Murloc pack in Eye of Ajara, right? You pull those guys, pop Battle Cry, and then use Revenge and Thunderclap, and I was doing like 2 million burst AoE damage. So it was just insane. Granted, you could do that with either one of these, but for some reason, when I use Devastator, I just do so much more damage. And also having the auto attacks generate 5 rage is a really nice addition. When I was testing on this dummy, I did 8 minutes. It took me 7.5 minutes to kill this guy with 111 million health. With Devastator, and it took me longer to kill it with Indomitable. My damage with Devastator, I was doing, by the end of it, I was at 260 DPS, and in Indomitable I was at 160. So you can see it's about 100k sustained DPS increase, which is a lot. When we were doing Heroic Odin, I was having trouble with the spears using Devastator, so I went to Indomitable, but after my raid saw my damage loss, they had me switch back to Devastator and just chose to use other cooldowns instead of me having a larger health pool. So basically, I mean, in my opinion, and this is my opinion, anybody else, and you can agree with me, disagree with me, it doesn't matter. This is how I was playing it, and as I said, I've done Mythic plus 12 this week with Skittish and bolstering, and I just had absolutely no trouble using Devastator. It was very effective, very fun. I like the fact that I don't have to spam one button that does not a lot of damage, praying something else will come off cooldown. Instead, your auto attacks, Thunderclap and Revenge, which you use on cooldown pretty much unless Shield Slam comes up, you're going to be using those. And I just, between Shield Slam and Revenge, how much they procced, it was just an absolute blast to play. So that, I think for now, that's what I'm going to be sticking with, unless there's a niche situation where I need that extra 25% 25% HP. But another thing is with Indomitable, I was having a lot more trouble getting rage, and then pretty easily explained because of the fact that your your auto attacks now generate 5 rage per hit, and the faster your haste is, the faster you hit. I was having no problem keeping Ignore Pain up like as much as I wanted with Devastator. I was getting rage from my Intercept, from Devastator, my auto attacks, from Shield Slam, and from Thunderclap. And I used a lot more Thunderclaps and got a lot more damage out of Thunderclap when I did not have Devastator taken. So I had a lot of fun with this personally. I didn't have any problem with rage generation. I didn't have any problem with mitigation, and my damage was much higher than the latter. So that's my opinion. That's why I took this talent. If anybody else has any other opinions or other insights, I would really like to hear about it. But moving on, I still use Vengeance, which is the same thing as Focus, Rage, Ignore Pain, except for now it's Revenge and Ignore Pain. And instead of having Ultimatum, basically when you dodge or parry, it makes your next Revenge become free. It doesn't reset the cooldown, it just makes your next Revenge free. So that's basically the same thing as with Ultimatum. When you crit with your Shield Slam, you'd get a free Focused Rage. So I had that proc all the time, so you could basically get max Ignore Pains for 39 Rage while having a lot of free Revenges. So I'm sticking with Vengeance for the mitigation and the reduction in cost. You also have Into the Fray and Booming Voice here, and I really don't. I mean, you could take Booming Voice, but with the benefit of the reduced rage cost for Vengeance, I'm going to stick with that. And then Heavy Repercussions I also stuck with because it's always nice to get that extended, and especially with the amount that Shield Slam is proccing now, because everything else can proc Shield Slam to reset the cooldown. With the amount that Shield Slam is up, I just like Heavy Repercussions even more. Getting that extended shield block, and it also really buffs the damage of your Shield Slam, so that can be beneficial in AoE when you're trying to focus down one particular target, like in bolstering if somebody has too much health. You're going to be, doing better single target damage, and then on, boss fights, you're going to get higher damage out of that as well. If you're going to be doing like Mythic Plus, like maybe like you're in a farm group or a carry group and you're just doing massive pulls and everything is going to be dying quickly, I would go with probably Best Served Cold and Ravager, and maybe even Into the Fray, just to get the max AoE damage you could. Then you also have Anger Management, which changed a little bit. Every 10 rage you spend reduces the remaining cooldown on Battlecry, Last Stand, Shield Wall, and Demoralizing Shout by 1 second. So I'm still going to stick with Heavy Repercussions. If I get into situations where I find having a shorter cooldown on those abilities becomes pertinent, I will definitely, switch over to that to be able to use survivability cooldowns. But as it stands right now, I think Heavy Repercussions is in a good place. Also, you want your haste to be around 30. I'm nowhere close. As you can see, I'm at 18, so I got to really work on that. But I've been kind of getting screwed with gear. And then mastery. So you want haste, mastery, versatility, and crit, and that's just simply put the order you want to go in. Haste, it's just the way it's always been this whole expansion, so just stick with it. So that is my opinion on Devastator, guys. I hope it could shed some light for people. I did have some questions on YouTube, some comments asking how I felt about it. And the thing is I really like it. I'm doing way more damage. I'm having more fun hitting my buttons because I'm not just spamming one button, praying something else will proc. It just feels more fun to me. It feels more fluid. My survivability is fine. I'm doing heroic raids, high level mythic keystones with Devastator, and it was a lot of fun for me. I had an absolute blast. I can't wait to do more. So if you guys like this video, please let me know by leaving a like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one.